So Farlow playing in jumper 9, but is playing more of a second rower style role, whilst Hawkins in 16 is playing the acting half. And Smith has got that away in a strong breeze. It's waved away. It hooked to the left. So 6-4 in favour of Wentworthville. A touch over 13 minutes in this game gone.
Yeah, great try there from the Sharks. I'm not sure if Anthony Mitchell played at that football earlier, but they got the run of the green there, the Sharks, and great ball from Timmy Smith. Once again, a few question marks on that right side of defence from Wentworthville. Hopefully they can stitch that up.
Roderick Wright tackled from the ensuing kickoff. Stuart Mills. There's Rennie Matua starting to limber up at the 14th minute mark. Now Manor, another with a host of first grade appearances. Has had well documented health issues and has done really well to play rugby league at a high level. Now Broderick Wright tackled. Those it back to Tongia, and now a ball onto the chest of Troy Thompson. He's been running aggressively today. Every time he touches, it takes 3 defenders to pull him down. Now Smith. All the chasers are onside. It's high and comes down to Chris Hicks, who now works the steed and back towards the centre, probing for a hole.
You know, I would have watched Chris Hicks play probably 100-odd first-grade games. I've never seen him drop a football, and he is just so safe. I just wonder why sides continue to kick to him.
Uasale, meantime, struggles downfield. He'll play it back to Mitchell. Mitchell comes down this left-hand side of Cronulla's defence with Nathan Armand again. Carl Webb. That was strong. Manor stood his ground in front of him. Thompson was in there helping as well. Look at Mitchell exploding out of acting half. It's a good run by the hooker forward. Tackled by his opposite number, Farlow. There's a long pass clearing the ruck to Daniel Mortimer. Thought the men on his outside were offside in front of the kick. Tongia attacks the ball for the Sharks. It's gone wrong. It's bouncing all over the place. Penalty to Cronulla.
Number 13 was offside at the kick chase.
You can have a look at here. The referee has ruled that he's in front of the kicker, which he obviously is. And it's questionable whether he becomes involved in anything in this 10 metres. He's not going forward for the football. He's actually backing off there now as the ball comes towards him. He's not played at the football. Oh, give me a break. How in the hell is that a penalty?
On the 10, hold.
So just short of 16 minutes, Cronulla comes back downtown on the Wentworthville 30. Great chance for them to play from in front in this game. There's a good run by Manor. Johnny Manor's away, fullback to beat, and broke through the tackle of Humble. Got up and tried to have another crack. He's held now, but did an excellent job for his team. Gets them going forward. Now Tim Smith, can he capitalise on that run? Inside ball back across to Vave towards the centre. Tackled roughly 10 metres out from the Wentworthville line. So pressure for the Magpies. Here's a ball to Jared Farlow, who strolls into a yawning gap and will score the easiest try of his career. And it's his second of the day.
I'm not sure Cozzy Lele it's not even going to throw a longer pass then, but Farlow's obviously popped up in the hole. That was great work there based on the back of 2 or 3 good breaks from their forwards. Thompson's been going very, very well. Big break there from Johnny Manor. Cozzy Lele there just laid the pass on. Jared Farlow, I really believe, was not the man that pass was intended for. Came straight into the hole. Did very, very well again on that right edge defence.
Well, the inside defenders were not moving laterally at all there in an attempt to nullify the Cronulla attack. So 8 points to 6. That's the angle that Tongia is working with. He's got it away beautifully. That is 2 points in tricky, windy conditions. 10 points to 6. The premiership leaders, the Sharks, hit the front.
Yeah, it appears Chris Walker playing on the same side there as Chris Hicks, so a slight reshuffle. Look, they're making the most of their opportunity at the moment, the Sharks. A few 50-50 calls, but credit to them, they're putting points on the board.
They've come back strongly, despite the Maggies going to a very quick lead in this game after just a couple of minutes of play. Andrew Clayton's into the action now, wearing 14 for the Sharks. That was him that played the ball prior. Yeah, Chris Walker playing in 5, but is in fact playing right centre so far in this game for Wentworthville. It's not a position he's unfamiliar with. Tackle there made by Justin Horrow. Now Sharks continue down at this short side. Nice run there by Jake Hawkins. Been impressive for the Sharks. On and off the ball. Now Tim Smith takes control again. A dummy, a show, a go, and then found Tonga. And here's big Broderick right out on the edge. He steps back on the inside, which was probably the smart thing to do. There was a host of defence sliding across. And Wright will now play it back to Tonga. Bit of hesitation there at acting half. Smith's got it now. And a kick down towards Chris Hicks's wing again. And as safe as you like, he takes it about 8 metres out from his own line.
Cronulla certainly dominating. You see a penalty there again for a little bit too much work from Jared Farlow around the head on Chris Hicks. But Cronulla certainly, if you look at this replay, they certainly had the best of the forward exchanges, and obviously the field position then is on the back of that.
Kicking to touch on the western side. Not the all-time best touch finder in the history of the game. But we restart play nonetheless, and this is Cole Webb flinging himself into the Sharks' defensive line. Still no sign of that strong wind blowing from the southerly end, or the southern end, abating. It's howling up the ground from right to left. Here is Tom Humble. Tackler Troy Thompson. Play on, according to the referee. As we see Mortimer looking for a runner, and that's a decent tackle. Now Mitchell. Fluke drives the ball. And Tonga to return the football, facing a wall of black and white jerseys. He's tackled centre field. Fraction over 20 minutes gone in the first half. 4-point margin here at Ringrose Park. Big Stuart Miles trying to bust them. 3 Magpies converts to put him on the ground. Smith, dummy to the left, goes right. And I mean he goes right with Broderick right. Mitchell and Mortimer the tacklers. So Cronulla through Varve, working it downfield. Hawkins showing he likes to kick as well out of acting half, but his coach might prefer he doesn't. Out on the full.
Yeah, not a great kick here from Jake Hawkins. Usually fairly good too. He's a former halfback converted to hooker, and just came straight off the side of the boot.
So Magpies loosen feed.
Just everyone move in.
More interchange activity
Over here it is, boys.
is imminent for the Magpies.
Sit outside foot up for us, mate. Everyone keep the heads in.
Of course, Paul Gallen,
15.
Wentworthfield Jr.
Your other second rower. Get your
Played a lot of
15
footy here as a kid at Ringrose Park, the New South Wales Blues skipper.
Let's come back. Just wait till I tell you.
Of course, we wish both sides the best for Origin 2 in Sydney on Wednesday night.
Arms over. All right, ball in. Out.
Now Mitchell out the back, and ball away to Troy Savage.
Team up. Hold.
He was tackled fairly easily by Tim Smith, about 5 in from the eastern touchline. Across to Mortimer, and now Horrow got the pass away. It was a bit dangerous and really not necessary. Coming back to Mitchell, who manages to salvage something out of it. Confronted by Dean Collis. Mortimer. Manu Kafoa came up with the first try of the day, and he did very well. Took the ball 5 out from the line, had a lot of work to do. Stretched out, planted the steed and down for 4 points. Passed slightly behind Chris Walker there. Did well, tackled by Liatelli rather. Armit, left foot step. And hit by Thompson. And by Varve.
Release him. Last one.
That's tackle 5. So Mortimer, the man to watch here, Mitchell. It came to Stanfield, and that'll be a changeover of possession. Well, that's a disappointing end of the set.
Yeah, not a great result for the Wentworthville side, especially at this early stage of the game too. A little bit disappointed. A lot of Aaron Fluke's work today. Last week you saw him doing a lot of the work at the line, a lot of it before the line, and just saw in that previous set of 6 then, Chris Walker got up shaking his head after being hit from a tackle that was basically telegraphed by the work that Fluke was doing on the inside, whereas Daniel Mortimer's taking the ball to the line today.
I'd have to say, you couldn't have said it better. Sutton giving a penalty to the visitors. Over exuberance in the ruck. Replay. Down to the sideline, here's Drury.
Yeah, a couple of players from both teams warming up now, ready to come on. We've got Johnny Mena coming on back in the action. He's actually on screen there as well. And Matt Ryan, the new recruit for Wentworthville in jumper 21, also warming up for the Magpies. Interesting, David, this ground holding up quite well despite all the rain we've had in recent times.
Drury, I recall about 5 or 6 years ago, the Wentworthville Club undertook a major program to revamp the ground. And I think from memory, they spent about $400,000 on improving the drainage, and it certainly has paid huge dividends as we watch the Sharks back on the attack. And out to Tongia, and this is promising for the Sharks. They're going to come up with a try to Dean Collis, who improves the position of the put down significantly. And the Sharks, good work by them, 14 points to 6. Again, the Wentworthville defence on the edges being caught out, this time the left side. Kick to come for the Sharks.
It's great work from Cozzy Lele here. You watch here a couple of shows of the past here, but have a look at the line that off-line Tongia that Dean Collis runs just straight against the grain, came back in, outside in, and certainly it shows his experience, but good play from the two ball players inside of him, Lele and then Ryan Tongia.
Tongia from right in front. Ominous signs for Wentworthville. Couple of defensive lapses. You'd have to call them soft tries to Collis, and Farlow's second try was as soft as it gets. Tontine soft. There's the flags in the air. 16 points to 6 here at Ringrose. And the Sharks now enjoying an advantage of 10 points. Drury.
Yeah, look, once again, Wentworthville getting off to a good start and then just tapering off a little bit, giving the Sharks, or putting them back in the game rather. But as we said earlier, there is a strong breeze behind Cronulla's back at the moment. So interesting to see what will happen. Andrew Clayton with a big run there.
Yeah, Clayton's done well since he's been injected into the game by Coach Herman. Now, Johnny Mena didn't start the game quite as explosively as his colleague Troy Thompson, but has been pretty effective the last 10 minutes. Manu with some big runs and some second phase here by the Sharks. Tongia does well, and now we see it out to Leotelli. He's got support on his left and pops the ball there to Daniel Perkins, and the Sharks are running riot at Ringrose. They are in again, 20 points to 6, and Wentworthville coach Brett Cook will be starting to frown.
Again, based on the back of a couple of really good go-forwards, Andrew Clayton with that big bang up here, Broderick Wright coming back in on a drop-off. He's been very good on the right edge, right, and he's come back up to link across the back here. Watchers up the middle, Ryan Tongia, good fullbacks do, just back up, support, push up all the time. Across the top to Farlow, who's had a bit of a field day on the edge. Chris Hicks had to come in there because they found numbers. Aaron Fluke can cover defence, just not quite quick enough. Leotelli takes out the two players with him, and a great try to the Cronulla Sharks. And I think you're right, David. At the moment, Wentworthville are at 6s and 7s.
They really are. Tongia will attempt the conversion to make it 22 points to 6. And the Sharks showing why they come into this round 14 match as New South Wales Cup leaders, playing a good brand of footy. They've got a settled team, having the majority of their personnel consistently lining up every week, and the kick away, unfortunately, to the right of the uprights. So 20 points to 6 is still a pretty handy lead, 12 minutes out.